Short here, I think so. I think so. The question is if they are. To be honest with you, Martin, the opposition down and out.
One team really on their game today. Other very off colour. Some move all the time and makes lots of these interceptions.
As you say, first time in the season.
Position really works. This attack works. Here's the shot. Here's the shot. Distance. Great to take that on now.
It's got a history of following the back distances.
Boundaries just starting to flow now for India. It's been 4 overs of England really applying the brakes. But then Shukadava and Adem desperately trying to prevent the great votes in this game. Now, once Darwin unbeaten on 10 and KL Rahul 5 on out that after they'd been put in by England, who won the toss on the opening morning. There's the context to this. Ben Stokes concluded
Well, if you look back at the archives, you'll see that this play has scored quite a few from these kind of distances. And it isn't that.
Well, they've increased their lead here, and that could just wrap up the match.
The boxing team much better here today, and the scoreline reflects that.
I don't think we expected such a one-sided affair. Scoreline. Whipped in from the wide area. Simple piece of defending, really. That'll be a throw.
Remember for Damari Gray, he played the whole of Leicester's defeat against Manchester United. He's got fond memories of playing against Wolves. He scored a goal against them. But for Birmingham, he's got his opposite number today.
I think everyone talks about Ruben Neves, and I've watched a lot of Paulo Costa. Being a England is a very good player as well, so we've got a lot of key players. I said that can hurt teams.
Here's the shot. Keeper couldn't get down quickly enough to deal with such a low shot.
That's a shot from any shots he's got last season. These circumstances
He wants got to admire the way he placed the ball into the bottom corner of the net.
The goalkeeper was in a decent position. He was helpless to stop the going in.
Everyone knows that he is. A lot of that play does go through and comes out.
Now they've got a chance in this part of the pitch.
This is that shot as well from outside the box.
Defenders man tries the volley. Corner kick coming up.
The corner peters out rather the opening weekend of the season. That's not going to bring his side, but having 4-0 by Liverpool.
And in he goes.
He thinks it'll take a bit of time.
Wonderful chance. Corner to be taken. Almost done for the team. I think for the supporters. Keep singing.
I think a few of them on the town tonight. Performance to win.
Very good distance for the clearance.
We are trying to change in which area of the pitch we will try to have the most amount of minutes. Almost as I just said, the team that almost
could pose some danger now.
He's got the ball. Good possession not to lose balls because again in front we have a team that normally
Great work by the keeper. Looking to take the corner quickly. Put the corner in the middle. Only partially clear. Still some problems for them.
He has ball with the 2 or 3 last week and to take advantage of West Ham's busy summer in the transfer window.
It's always difficult, I think, when you sign new players. And we found that previously. I think our first season in the Premier League is probably the best example I can give. We signed, I'm not sure on the actual figure, but we signed a number of players and trying to get them to all understand how each other plays and how I want them to play. It took a little bit of time, and I think that's a natural process.
Good forward play from him.
West Ham
Well, they've taken the low route and they've got themselves a goal behind the keeper's ring.
Well, if you look back through the archives, you'll see that this play has scored quite a few from these kind of distances. But it isn't
Well, scoring in any game is worthy of celebration. When you get two, it is special. And he is feeling that special delight at the moment.
Now,
It's a tough game for the team that are trailing. They're out of the contest, really. They're just playing for pride. They're really being torn apart.
It's given them the confidence to be more ambitious.
We're hearing there will be 3 added minutes here.
I want to be that player that changes the game, that will do something special to maybe get the lads on the front foot. You don't
Getting
want to
forward
maybe
well
always
as a
wait
team
for
now.
them to King, to Wilson to go and do it themselves. Maybe I'm to be that player now.
Here's a chance.
I'm going to try my best.
Offside.
Not get too far ahead of myself. It's only one
Clearly
game,
in
but
agreement.
I think it's a step in the right direction for me.
That's a straightforward offside decision.
Another team that have been active this summer at Everton. They brought in 7 signings in the transfer window. Morgan Schneider says there's a little excitement about the club at the moment.
I think this year is very much different because this year you can see and you can feel around the place more stability, more confidence on what we're doing and everything. So I think that we need to work hard, we need to be better in some things. That's the manager trying to implement. But this year, for the moment, you know, he looks very promising.
Swindon. Well, you heard Schneiderlin mentioned the manager, Marco Silva. He's taking charge of his first home game at Goodison Park today, and he believes it's going to be an intriguing tactical battle.
Colchester United 1.
For sure, will be a tough game. We'll play against a strong side. Squad, experienced players as well in Premier League. Okay, they play with the same formation than
Newport County
Wolves play against us. 5-5-2. Normally, they try to keep a good balance in his defensive organisation, and it's up to us to work well, to play fast, to try to organise them to create enough chance to score.
Well, Southampton fans, do you remember this? A goal by Kevin Davies, which helped you to beat Everton at Goodison Park, but this was the last time you did it, November '97. But despite the poor record, Mark Hughes believes it might be a good time to face Everton.
It made a big investment in the team and in the manager, by all accounts. So it may be that now is the best time to play them, given the changes that they've undertaken, and maybe mid-season they'd be better acquainted with the guys they brought in, and like I said, it might be the best time to play them.
Well, next we'll have the team news, won't we, David? Who's playing again?
Yeah, it's Cardiff and Newcastle.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, look, it's there, Scottish Premier League, main event.
Soccer Saturday, sponsored by John.
I worked just shy of 40 years, but my pension still wasn't going to be enough for us. So when he called out of the blue, offering a free pension review, I was all ears. He spoke professionally about investments. He seemed a really decent
Alan Smith alongside Martin Tyler. Big welcome to this match.
He took off.
Probably one of the two was behind the other, and the midfield
So if they start getting overload in the middle of the park, that's always an option for this manager. To fill his midfield.
looking good this move. Here's the shot. Turned away.
We gave people the MJ's clean routine to try and asked them how clean they feel after going to the loo.
In goes the corner. The player's broken down now.
I feel as clean as a hippo. Hippopotamus. As clean as pink candy floss. Clean as a squid.
Well, all the attention on the away side because what a shock they brought to everybody right now. I mean, absolutely at their full potential. I don't know whether they can get any better, whether they can sustain.
Worse surprise if we got probably even more
Find your dream car at a great price. Schmuck it. Buy and sell now with the Schmuck app. Download now for free.
Really, intention of the pass. The referee looks to his assistant to shove it offside.
I wish I checked the instructions.
I wish I'd checked the zip.
It's always better to check before you chance it. With Quick Check from Capital One, you can check if you'll be accepted for a credit card before you apply, without affecting your credit score.
Build up as we
Quick
until
Check, check
that
it,
challenge.
chance it.
Neatly intercepted. There could be a chance here. Ball into a good area.
Into the trash with me. And
Celebrate the career of an Academy Award-winning icon. That's Denzel Washington picture.
Willie.
Okay, remember the lunchtime game live on Sky Sports is the first game back in the Premier League at home for Cardiff City as they take on Newcastle United. And we have the team news for you. And for Cardiff, there are 3 changes from the team that played their last game, the 2-0 defeat away to Bournemouth last weekend. So in comes Artur Kentawuri and Victor Camarasa, who signed from Real Betis one season on loan. He is a player who is very, very highly rated in Spain. Didn't really get his chances over in Seville, but he makes his first start here for Cardiff City at home at the Cardiff City Stadium. So the team in full. Neil Etheridge in goal. Penalty Sean Morrison, Bruno Ikulemanga and Joe Bennett. Then in midfield, Artur Camarasa, Bamba, Rouse and Hoyler, and up front, Kenneth Lapore.
To clear it even at the expense of the corner.
To take on Newcastle at home.
Swung in from the corner.
So let's just see the team in full once again. One of the things about Cardiff, by the way, best home defence in the Championship last season, conceded just 16 goals. They've been getting underway with a clean sheet here as far as their home form is concerned. Well, you would imagine that Neil Warne will be very, very happy indeed, especially as they haven't quite got any points on the board yet. So there you go. Etheridge there in goal, and then you've got Ikulemanga, John Morrison, Tobamba, and Joe Bennett in that 4-man defence. Murphy on the right-hand side area, also in the middle. Victor Camarasa, as I mentioned, Junior Hoyler on the left flank, with Joe Rawls also in central midfield, and Kenneth Lapore on his own up front. That's how Cardiff line up.
Well, Josh Murphy, as you say there, does start on the right wing. It could be a chance for 2 twin brothers to go up against each other. Look at Jacob plays for Newcastle, but Rafa not putting ball because Jacob wants to get a goal. So he's not starting, so we'll see if he comes off the bench. A great start. Yeah, they would be the second twins to ever play, so Keane brothers. But the Newcastle squad, well, they made one change. Benitez very unhappy about the lack of arrivals this summer, and needless to say, not one single new signing in the starting 11. It's basically the same team that he had last season. It's Martin Dubravka. He did sign this summer, but he was at home last season. Of course, he starts in goal. Kieran Clark upon Jamal Lascelles, the captain, at centre-back, and right-back. That's where the change comes in, because DeAndre Yedlin is injured. Instead of him, it'll be Javier Manquillo who comes in on one full-back, with Paul Dummett staying at left-back, you would think. So Manquillo to start at right-back. The midfield threes is Giorgio Shelvey and Mo Diarmé. There is, that's Manquillo, by the way, who comes in. Diarmé starts alongside Giorgio Shelvey in the middle of the park with, as you can see, we haven't done this a 4-4-1. They can work as a 4-2-3-1 as well, but we've gone with Matt Ritchie right, Kennedy on one from Chelsea on the left, Diarmé Shelvey through the centre with Jose Perez playing behind Jocelyn, and Lauren talked about when Solomon Rondon who played today, came off the bench last week against Spurs, but Jocelyn's on his goal. He gets the number 9 role with Perez in the 10, and that's how Newcastle start. One change. And it'll be Tony Cottee, who keeps us up. Morning, Dave. Morning, Dave.
The
new promoted side, I think, are the least factor of the 3 to stay up. People seem to be backing more, but in terms of actually getting off to a good start at the club, how important is it? At least get something right. I think it's a massive moment. You know, you set your stall at the start, so discipline.
celebration. Get a hat-trick, it is a fantastic experience, and he's just
having scored two, he's just so full of confidence, and he never looked like missing that chance.
I have to say, it's so one-sided today, but all very competitive game, racking up the goals.
Get off the winning start, and it sets the tone for the season.
Which means they have to score a goal, and they made a change up front. Ken Zahouri coming in for Bobby Reid. Overall, in the Cardiff final, do you feel that there are enough goals to make sure they do?
I'm looking at both the two lineups you've read out there. Both for me, you know, where are the goals coming from? I look at two very strong midfield. Cardiff got 5 in midfield. Newcastle got strong midfield. I like them. They've got some good players. Who's going to score goals? You know, like Bobby Reid, not pressure. He signed for a lot of money. Not playing this week. So
Be a chance here.
get the goals.
Into a good area.
Perez
Wants
up
to
front.
get out of
Where are the goals? And there's not what we call them natural goals from there. So hopefully it's not going to be one of my boring 0-0 games, but it will be a midfield battle. Whoever wins that midfield battle, I think that will be the same game.
Is one of the signings that Rafa wants is coming on loan. You're surprised that he hasn't decided to throw him into the starting lineup and maybe get off the bench.
Yeah, exactly. You know, listen, I'm a fan. I like him. When he looks to me like a confidence player. I know a lot of players are confidence players. He looks like the type of lad. You put your arm around him, get him playing with confidence. He leads the line. He can score a goal. He might miss a few, but he's got to be in position to miss them. And I think Newcastle should focal point. They need to get him to see pretty sharp pitch and work out perhaps who's the best player to play off. It'll be interesting. I'm sure he'll come on at some stage, you know, if they need a goal.
That's a straightforward piece of work for the goalkeeper.
Newcastle finished 10th last season in the Premier League, the highest of the three that came up, and I was there on the day to beat the defending champions Chelsea on the last day. Everyone coming out full of life, full of joy, ready for next season, and then the summer comes along and it feels like there's some
looking for teammates in the middle.
There's so much going on with Mike Ashley and what's going on, you know, in terms of other businesses and that money being appearing to go elsewhere. If you're a Newcastle fan, you want the money into your football club, you know. Benitez has done a good job, you know, he kept them in the division. Looked like it was going to be a real struggle last year. They stayed up quite comfortably. You have to build. You can't not invest in the football team because you've already mentioned it. Wolves have come up, Fulham have come up, West Ham. All these clubs are spending big money. If you don't compete with that, spend the money, you'll be in trouble. That's my fear for Newcastle. You know, they've still got the January window to maybe put some things right. Just at the moment, the ball worry really.
What a good try.
To this game, Newcastle needs to ask they need to seem to have a bit of a hold over Cardiff. Is that something that actually
absolutely, totally irrelevant. Yeah. It's great for us. We love our stats at Sky, don't we? But if you're a footballer, and I've been in the dressing room, you know, you don't go thinking, oh, we won the last 9 games or we lost the last 9 games. Invariably, it's a different team. Different players. You concentrate on the job. You go into the match. You know that if you're going to Cardiff as a Newcastle player, you know you've got to be on your game. You've got to be up for the battle because Neil Warnock will have those players so wound up today.
Excellent header.
They've got to be on their game. Newcastle. Otherwise, you do feel the same.
Yeah. Big game then for both of
them. Big game. Look forward to it. Hopefully not.
It's going to be 4-4 now, is it? Cheers, Sam. Okay, great stuff. Well, Celtic, they haven't had a good couple of weeks, have they? They take on Partick in the second round of the League Cup this afternoon. Brendan Rodgers got the bring back-to-back defeats against Hearts. First time that he's lost back-to-back games. Can Partick make it 3 defeats in a row for the League Cup, against the League Cup holders?
Laid down the wing, keeping the wide attack going.
It's been a really difficult week for Brendan Rodgers. Celtic knocked out the Champions League. They lost to Hearts in the league a week ago. Discussions in the background, potentially Brendan Rodgers has fallen out with the Celtic board, and added to that, Dedrick Boyata has been frozen out of the first team after expressing desire to leave. Andy Walker joins me here at Firhill, where Celtic take on Paddy Thistle in the League Cup today. And Andy, the Boyata situation, first of all, given all that's been said, can you see him play for Celtic again?
I can't see it. I don't think the supporters would accept it. I don't think his teammates would accept it. I think that when you flag up the fact that you don't want to play for the club, I don't think they'll say any way back. You cannot pick and choose your games if you're a player.
I have to say,
so that
so
has to be
today,
managed
but
by
all credit to the team,
business decisions
racking up the goal.
because Celtic have already refused their bench to win the league. You can't go to England, that transfer window was closed. You don't think decreased massively. So that's going to be a problem to get them out of the door. Celtic strengthening in some areas of the pitch. They need a new centre-back, they need a more defensive goal. And I just can't believe they're in this position at this stage of the season. And they haven't had any business done. It's quite remarkable.
We're confident of getting through to the quarter-finals today here against Partick Thistle, but Brendan Rodgers has not encountered any problems since he came to Scotland 2 years ago. Is this a crisis for him to deal with, do you think?
I don't think it's a crisis. I think it's a relationship with Celtic Park. It's very professional for Celtic not to have with a degree of yeah, that was of that, there is no doubt. But Celtic need to start winning games today. They need to start winning games next week ahead of that huge clash against Rangers in a couple of weeks. Celtic are standing still. Rangers, Steve Gerrard, and that for Celtic Rangers game and thank you very much indeed. Rangers play tomorrow. Aberdeen against Sunderland is another standout match this afternoon. But very interesting to see how Celtic progress here today after a difficult week against Partick Thistle.
It's half-time, the first match of the new Rugby Championship, and Aussies New Zealand scored the only try so far. However, it's Australia who lead by 6 points to 5 over the second half. Live on Sky Sports Action. Prepare to succeed. Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Dylan.
Mum, Dad, I've announced all my possessions.
English Football League 2. Barnet 1, Morecambe 2, Carlisle United 1.
That's nothing.
Coventry City.
I just rented a BMW 5 Series for £49 from 6.
Drive smart!
Mansfield Town. After another year of poppycock.
Swindon Town 2,
There goes my family. Our home trip passes to place.
But that's not a problem. You tell us at the top of the table,
So tell us.
64. In second, Swindon Town 49. In fourth, Colchester United 34.
Get your savings and
33 points. In seventh,
Let us naysay the naysayers and slap the kiss of remote certainty.
rising up to
Let's see where our money's really going.
Did you know that over 17 million people in Britain have been affected by cybercrime? That's why you need NordVPN. Help stop others seeing your transaction details. Help protect your family's online activity and keep your personal details safe by preventing your information from being tracked online. NordVPN. Protect your family with advanced security on up to 6 devices for a low monthly fee. Install NordVPN today at nordvpn.com/TV.
Lucky, lucky, lucky me, I'm a lucky son of a gun. I work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, leave 8 hours. Lucky, lucky, lucky me, even though I haven't a dime. I laugh and play in a carefree way and I have a wonderful.
That's one lucky guy.
The new Tucson, part of the brand new range of SUVs from Hyundai.
My name is Professor Jones Reinhardt. Welcome to Abnormal Behavioral Analysis.
While I may have a fascination with psychopaths, does not mean I am one.
Judging by the way you eat your pizza, I'm not so sure. Watch out!
Surrounded by the same person. He's deliberate, brutal, fascinating, and he's only just started.
Even help?
with the ball in his hand, and this was his first ball to KL Rahul. Went for a single run to deep backward square, and in fact his first over went for 8 runs because next ball Shikhar Dhawan managed to find the cover boundary. So at least Ben Stokes is now involved, having been recalled to the England Test side for this third Test. England putting India in on the first morning at Trent Bridge, having won the toss. So Shikhar Dhawan has moved on to a 24 not out. It's been a long while to get going in this match, and KL Rahul unbeaten on 9. So Stokes is now bowling, having replaced Stuart Broad, and Jimmy Anderson is also at the crease right now. He's about to start his next over. His figures 0 for 13. So India 35 without loss. Fairly steady stuff so far. It's live on Sky Sports Cricket.
It's been a long time since we could have said this. Preston plays Stoke tonight, the first time that the two sides have met since 2008, and you can see the game live on Sky this evening. Stoke are fancied by many to go straight back up to the Premier League, but it's Preston who've got the better league results so far this season, with a win and a defeat, whereas Stoke have got 1 loss and 1 draw without a win.
If you look at the squad, they've got a squad that's played in the Premier League. But as I can confess to when I haven't been at Norwich before when we've come down, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's how you apply yourself, how you go about the work that's the key ingredients, I think. They've recruited a lot of players worth a lot of money in the summer as well. I think they spent over 30 million. So naturally, listen, they've got a strong squad. And generally, when you look at, like, say, who's favourites in the league or whatever, it's based on money spent and where the players have played in the past. But as we know, football's not played in the past, it's played in the present. So we've got a good, young, hungry squad, and we want to go and show what we can do.
Well, sides might not have met for a while, but the managers have, most recently at the end of last season when Rowett was manager of Derby.
Derby last year, we just picked Preston to the playoff places, but they ran us close all the way. You know, they're a very, very strong side. They work incredibly hard. They've got a team that's again played together for quite a while and got to grips with Alex's methods, and you know he's done a fantastic job there. I expect them to be strong. I expect them to be cohesive. I expect them to work incredibly hard. You know, you don't get anything at Deepdale for free. You've got to be prepared to go there. It's going to be equally as hard as the first 2 games, but again, you know, we have the quality in our group. We've got to start to show that.
Well, Stoke have picked up just 1 point so far from their games then, and Golden Jack Butland thinks that being in the Championship has been a wake-up call for some of the players. He's expecting another tough match today.
It's not an easy game. There is no easy games in the Championship. What you have to do is you have to make sure that, you know, to a man, you're ready and prepared as a team, and it'll be a tough game at their place. You know, 5:30 kickoff on a Saturday. It's going to be a good atmosphere, and looking forward to it. But you can't underestimate anyone in this league, and Preston after last season will be hoping to go one step further and try and get in the playoffs and beyond.
Well, there'll be plenty of goals here on Goals Express, Sky Sports News and Sky Sports Premier League from 6 p.m. Don't forget, you'll also get to have your say in goal of the day.
So one of those stories that we desperately want to know the answer to. Can the world's greatest sprinter really cut it on the football pitch? 8-time Olympic champion Usain Bolt arrived at Sydney Airport this morning. Just a warning here of flash photography. Bolt has joined Australia's A-League club, the Central Coast Mariners, for an indefinite training period. He is planning on hanging around.
How long do you think you'll be here? Forever. Hopefully, that's my key. I'm just push out here, but I'm going to push myself, work hard, and show what I'm capable of.
David Warner came out on top against former Australian teammate Steve Smith, as his St Lucia Stars finally got a win in the Caribbean Premier League. They beat Barbados Tridents by 38 runs. St Lucia posted 226 for 6, despite losing 3 batsmen to the Ducks, including Warner himself. I'll stop Kieran Pollard.
Is it okay? Is it okay? Yes, it is! From the skipper to finish, the 15th, and a half-century to boot.
Well, there was some top hitting from opener Andre Fletcher too. 80 off 52 balls. And then came Pollard's 100.
Goes for it. And he gets it! What innings! Finally, that monkey gets off his bat. His first ever T20 century. Kieran Pollard
In reply, the Trident's Dwayne Smith scored 58 from 45. And was offered little in support.
Down the throat! You better believe it! Case Allen, you little champion! Oh, look out! That's an Eldorado celebration!
Well, former Australia captain Smith's 28 was the next best total as St Lucia Stars ended their 15-game winless run.
Now, after shooting only the 10th sub-par 60 par score on the PGA Tour on Thursday, Brandt Snedeker had to settle for a more sedate 367 to take a two-shot lead at the Wyndham Championship. His first round of 59 included 10 birdies and an eagle. This eagle at 15 yesterday secured Snedeker the clubhouse lead. Well, he may be known as the Iceman, but Henrik Stenson seemed to lose his cool after this bogey on the 6th. Though despite the drop shot, Stenson ended on 7 under after shooting a 65. Just take a look at this from Johnson Wagner. Needed a birdie on the final hole to make the cut, but he pulled off this stunning eagle from all of 153 yards to shoot a 66. Blink and he missed it. Well, in she goes. Now, there were cheers for Andrew Beef Johnson during the second round of the Nordea Masters, where he is 9 shots off the lead, and they were nothing to do with this golf, to be fair. The reason, look very closely here, because at the 12th, just look at his back leg, his right trouser leg is rolled up, trying to play for a boggy area just off the green. But he couldn't keep the trousers clean, so he changed them in front of everyone. A few whistles, a few cheers, and Beef was lapping it up. As for the golf, for England's Paul Waring and Scotland's Scott Jameson joint leaders going into the third day, Waring getting 8 birdies on his way to a 7 under round of 63, both 11 under overall.
Elsewhere, Brits Paul Waring and Scott Jameson share the lead at the Nordea Masters heading into round 3, which begins at midday on Sky Sports Golf. Our reporter James Haddock is in Gothenburg for us right now. James.
And we've got a fabulous leaderboard heading into the weekend here in Sweden. Day 3 of this Nordea Masters. And we've got, well, Torbjorn Olesen, one of the headline attractions, and Martin Keimer very much in touch with the top. 2 Brits leading the way in Scott Jameson and Paul Waring as they make it into the weekend. Johnny Morgan, part of our team, and with me here in the studio. Torbjorn, the Ryder Cup dialogue, and Martin is one of the big names. Great to have them into the weekend and right in the mix of it now, trying to chase this down through the course of the next 2 days.
Well, they are, mate. And I'll tell you what, they're in good form, aren't they? I mean, Martin Keimer looking good, looking cool as a cucumber. Also, Olesen looking cool as a cucumber. Going about his business, playing it under the radar as well. Obviously, the tensions of the Ryder Cup on his mind, I'm sure. He's not letting it loose, though. He's not telling us anything, is he? He's not letting the cat out of the bag.
Yesterday, he's not thinking about
No,
that.
he's not, but come on, G, he's got to be. I mean, it's any boy's dream, isn't it, to play the Ryder Cup, but yeah, he's keeping it on the down low, and I don't blame him for that, because you can get ahead of yourself and all of a sudden your emotions could override, and you know, you can all of a sudden not hit the shots that required. But yeah, anyway, it's a different kettle of fish for the boys for today.
Certainly is. Plenty to play for, not just the European Tour title, plenty of players going for their European Tour playing privileges as well. 5 of the top 6 coming into the weekend outside the top 110 on the race to Dubai, and that's almost as interesting when you start looking at those players fighting for European Tour survival.
Well, it's tense, isn't it? I mean, we were chatting to Marcel Seam earlier, and he's in for the whole slog now until the end of the season, fighting for his card. You know, needs that money, and it's like all the rest of the guys out here on the fringe. You know, it's tense times for the guys. I mean, they have a great week. It's a big sigh of relief, get some money on that order of merit, some points on the order of merit, and I tell you what, you know, they'll have a great rest of the season. I'm sure they'll play better golf as well for it, but you know, leading up to that critical point, it's not going to be easy for the players. You know, they come to golf courses like this. This is where they got to capitalise. You know, we haven't got the, you know, you know, the big names come into this event this week. You know, Stenson's over there defending, he's not here this week, so you know, there's a chance for these boys to grab that extra big check, you know, to help them on that, you know, order of merit, but they still got to get the ball in the hole.
Absolutely, a pressured weekend for many, many players in the field. Very different conditions we're expecting today. It's a little bit chillier than it has been through the first 2 rounds, and we are expecting some rain. That'll certainly make it interesting. Soften it up though, and we've already seen good scoring out there today. You can join us for live coverage, day 3 of this Nordea Masters in Gothenburg from 12 PM, Sky Sports Golf.
12 unanswered points from New Zealand as the Wallabies sort of chance their hand in attack and they lose the ball. All Blacks then breaking. Raiko Ioane just with too much pace for Michael Hooper, beat the defender, and then Jack Goodhue manages to cross over the line to put the All Blacks 12-6 in front. It is his first try, just his second cap. It was converted by Beauden Barrett, so the All Blacks leading by 12 points to 6.
On the pitch, it must be an amazing place.
Well, coming next, the guys are ready, but are you Soccer Saturday for all the twists, the turns and the drama with Jen and the Hoops.
Diamond shape is Aguero. He must have thought he scored from that distance. The keeper had other ideas. Kick given. And in it goes. Put away, but not
We gave people the Andrex Clean Machine to try and asked them how clean they feel to go and clean.
That was a moment where they thought they scored, but the assistant has ruled out. The defence pushed up, that's one, and I think they've caught him offside there. This is another angle on it, Alan.
Well, it looked like the timing of the pass and the run was spot on, but the defence squeeze, I think they just caught him off.
How Andrex do you feel?
Played forward, a bit of menace in this attack.
Now at 0% APR. The Fiat 500L.
Here's a chance to attack. It's a quick break. Inwardly, he must be buzzing brilliant.
Well, the keeper's a little disgusting with these defenders because they just haven't come to his aid there after a good save.
Open the scoring 1-0 here. The football between these two is classic. Good reading of the play by the defender. Good movement forward here. You saw the look from the other player and where the pass was going. Read it.
US drama. You can watch every emergency
Aguero.
on Catch Up.
This is how they love to play on the break.
Soccer Saturday, sponsored by Gillette.
Luis Suarez. Trying to catch the other team out with a quick break here. Paul Pogba on the break. First there. First try to go. I don't think it'll be the last one they score today, the way they're playing.
No, and the opposition is all over the place. Just no semblance of organisation for them.
You look confused. Exactly. I mean, Chloe Ayling is famous for being kidnapped. Ben Jardine was famous for being married at first sight.
Restarting at 2-0.
Sally Morgan is famous for being Sally Morgan. And the human Ken is famous because he's had a lot of facelift and Botox.
This could lead to good attacking play.
Let's concentrate on this football.
They got the ball away as well.
Tottenham's new ground isn't ready. The club is reportedly appealing for electricians to finish the work. But they charge the only to cancel. And they find their start today. Wolves fans, well, the most optimistic monster might be driven one way forward. A bit of menace in this attack. Thomas Müller. The Dreamers go head to head.
See what he was trying to do. Clearly, defender in the way.
Southampton haven't won at Everton since 1987, when one of the goals was scored by Kevin Davis. Matt Letitia got the other. Yes, it really was that long ago.
The good thing about these pitches
It wasn't the start by Southampton, but it was the start of the
Leads the ball, he's so fast across the surface.
That's great. It's Cardiff at home with Newcastle, with McNamara.
Manager seeing Cardiff real team effort, get understanding between those lads down there.
Goalkeepers, heroes or zeros, it's a zero against his name here.
You had to be watching last week. Newcastle make one change from the team beaten by Spurs. Javi Manquillo replaces DeAndre Yedlin. Joselu keeps his place up front, so Solomon Rondon, Yoshinori Muto and Key, new signings, a lot of them, are all again on the bench, as is Federico Fernandez. Does that surprise you, Tiss? There's a lot of talk about the lack of signings at Newcastle, and when they've made a few...
Well, he left his post, he's outside the 6-yard box, and it was a poor decision from him.
I have to say, it's so one-sided today.
Which Man United player now?
My apologies, I don't understand.
Dangerous position over here.
Which Man United playing?
It can be quick on the break now. Neymar. Still got a bit to do, but this is promising. Quick-witted. His movement to intercept there. Matuidi.
Okay, had 2 shots on target. And yet you need
time to be added on here is the middle of 3 minutes. Certainly wanting the teammate, but he's just found an opponent. Really getting at the opposition as you're on the pitch.
You know, this is a big game. They get beat here, they'd be up. I mean, they just got beaten at home. They get beat by a team that just moted. There'll be serious questions being asked in the next home game.
He's gone for power, he's nowhere near.
There was a little length, wasn't there, last week against Spurs?
Yeah, I think there were spells in the game where they actually did all right. Comes down to
we wonder if the second half is going to be like the first, one-sided.
And we always like to concede a goal.
Now here's a chance to get at the opposition.
Yes. Look at this, it's a great strike. At times it didn't go their ways, it has to be said.
Well, that header flew in for a fine goal.
Oh, fantastic timing, he gets up early. What an emphatic finish.
This is an absolute golden chance.
Well, this is when it's tough being a goalkeeper. A little bit more on it and it would have been a very fine save. As it is, he's picking the ball out of the net.
Yeah, he sets high standards, this lad, and I don't think he just dropped below those.
One team really on their game today, the other very off colour.
At the moment. I would like to applaud, there was a lot of positives, I can see that. But you're quite right, there wasn't enough hitting the target. And if you're asking me, Joselu or Rondon, surely Rondon's had full pre-season.
There's good progress with this attack. Now the shot! He's blocked them. This is certainly going to be within their range. The free kick has been given.
Can you have a key game this early in the season?
Fabregas.
Probably more so at home. I would say it's more key to Cardiff to get
referee spotted that deflection, he's pointed for the corner.
The way that these fixtures are looking, Jeff, and mentioning some of the games that's coming up for the people who've not started, but I know only after one game. But you get a second defeat, then all of a sudden you're starting to think about the others, or playing catch up, and trying to pick up points within that and look too far ahead is it's going to test you. But this is a big game for them. They've got to get themselves on the board as quick as possible. One thing when we looked in,
made sure the ball was
all
stuck at his foot.
three newcomers last season, and it's the same this season, all got early points on the board. And the ones who are going to be in that relegation battle, and Newcastle are one of the teams that have tipped them down less, come January, manages to spin another couple of transfers. This is not a strong group. He's not introduced the new guys in. Does it fit?
Well, if you look back through the archives, you'll see that this player has scored quite a few from these kind of distances, and it is an accurate.
Not because they're under...
Two for him on the day. And two very well taken goals. I have to say it's so one-sided today, but all credit to the team that are racking up the goals.
The last couple of transfer windows.
Good reading of the by anticipating the pass. He's coming forward with some danger. Mbappe.
It's really not with those games coming up. No. As you said, this is a massive game for 22 games in. Because it's Newcastle.
That's great defending there, stopping that attack.
They don't want to start sort of all the pressure being
He's got the technique to deal with the press. It's
Aguero. It's a massive game for Newcastle.
Comes in with a tackle.
Just because of the club as a whole.
Neymar.
I mean, as far as Cardiff a lot of people have written them off one game in. Now that's not a headline today.
Mbappe.
Manager loves that kind of goal because it was a real team effort the way they moved the ball about, and when it came to the finish, it was an unerring effort.
He took it with great aplomb. I'm sure getting the first goal gave him the confidence to grab the second chance here.
They were always in the game.
Here is another angle on that goal.
The problem I find with them, Jeff, just haven't got that little bit of class. You know, I mean,
well, I know this manager's been working hard on the training ground in a certain shape. Boy, is it getting results out there.
I don't think we expected this. Such a one-sided affair, but look at the scoreline.
I would
looking good, this move.
I would say they're out their depth. I think this is a big game. I think if they went and lost this game, they just lost the ball. They expect to be in the bottom half and league goals for fun, couldn't score a goal against them, and they're playing Newcastle. So it's. I mean, I think that I was early. There'd be 36 games left. Believe this is a massive for both teams. Massive.
It's interesting because you did them last week and you were looking at a team from last week. It looks as if he's trying to fit people into positions that he didn't really. Maddison was midfield. He was the right back originally when he bought him. Somebody was telling us that Lambert was telling us about the qualities of
a winger coming off here, Alan. Not a winger who's played very well, to be honest with you.
No, he hasn't, and I just wonder whether they're going to play with a bit less width now because...
Can they get something out of Hoyle? He's drifted for a few seasons now.
And again, you talk the physical side, and maybe that's why Bobby Reid's been left out today, because a lot of people think, you know, they'll flourish from set plays and such like. But Bobby Reid is 5'7", and so is Josh Murphy, and Junior Hoylett's 5'8", and Kenneth Zohoro's coming in 6'2". So I think it's a clue as to how they might be approaching it. And it is, you know, we looked at their performance last week, Tiss, in an away game, but it's at the Cardiff City Stadium with 30-odd thousand fans. This is where their fate will be decided, isn't it? Rather like Huddersfield last season, if you like.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the newly promoted sides, it is always a bit of a struggle to get wins away from home in the Premier League. They do tend to find that a little bit of a struggle. So, you know, the home fans are crucial to Cardiff this season. You know, we saw going to Bournemouth, okay, they were in the game, but at the end, Bournemouth were quite comfortable. They're going to face a lot harder teams than Bournemouth in away games this season, so it will be the home form that will give them half a chance, but I do see it being a long season with Cardiff.
2-1 on favourites to be relegated already, Cardiff, this season. Now, one of the Premier League season, of course, for Cardiff. In that season, they lost their opening game. Their second game was at home, as they are this afternoon, of course. And that second game was at home to Manchester City. And Cardiff beat them by 3-2. So that'll be a warning for Newcastle. Having said that, Newcastle's record against Cardiff is fabulous. They've won each of their last 10 meetings. Can they maintain that record? And as I mentioned earlier, Rafa Benitez never lost against Neil Warnock. Now, any fears Manchester City fans had that their Premier League champions would lack motivation to win consecutive titles, well, they were well and truly quashed away at Arsenal last weekend. Ahead of City's Super Sunday clash with Huddersfield, Rob Palmer went for a pep talk.
It hasn't worked. He's been up against a top quality fullback.
That's a great interception.
We have to help him to become now time to
attacking well here.
To rest a little bit after
pull it back in, set up a chance. Cleared it well.
Think about it in the trade that we have to
You have recruited him. Riyad Mahrez comes into your group, into your squad.
It was a good idea to use the width on the pitch, but it's...
Which way does that work?
He's very good. Still, he can do more in terms of understand what you have to do. That is normal. So when you arrive, there's new things. What do you have to do? What do you have to, you know, to understand his mates, the managers, the scouts, and everybody. But he has everything to sell good. So in precision.
Gone out for a throw. It is a change for the 2-goal forward. There might be an injury involved, and he seems happy enough to go. He's had a good day.
He has had a good day, and he is important to this side. So if he was feeling tired, looking forward to getting an injury with him in the closing stages.
Now Baye. Pogba. Happy to see Aguero on this part of the pitch, away from the goal, he's attacking. That's it. That's a fantastic goal. He's kept his shot down, and he's got a goal to show for it.
It's so hard to counter, Martin, that one, two-touch stuff. The understanding between this team and the opposition couldn't get near.
He's tucked it away, well out of the goalkeeper's reach.
I love to see that. Don't have to whack it from that kind of position. Just side-footed home.
Really getting at the opposition this far up the pitch now. Trying a bit too hard, trying to force the pass, and it's straight to an opponent. It's the power of Ibrahimovic on the move. Aguero, and he scores. And that's the third, the hat-trick. It's a day he'll never forget. Well, no wonder he's wheeling away in a super celebration. To get a hat-trick is a fantastic experience, and he's just done that.
Well, having scored two, he was just so full of confidence, and he never looked like missing that chance.
Well, first of all, you have to play. Before you will get to the first team, you have to play in a real tough competition in the previous game. Of course, you can load them in a championship or in the Premier League as well. But when they play in the second league,
I have to say it's so one-sided today, but all credit to the team. They're racking up the goals.
Against strong teams. And
able to cut that out with some sharp movement.
The Real Madrid midfield playing like
That's
second or third tier.
across the field to try and switch the
against
play.
the elbows and the hard guys.
It's like playing
Played out to Cristiano Ronaldo in that wide area.
They deserve it, they win.
Unpredictable with the passing and the opposition able to deal with that. Backing his own talent here to keep the ball. And he has got some support if he wants to just lay it off.
You know, a real test, and that is the best way.
Suarez! David De Gea with the save, a magnificent save. Corner coming up.
Yeah, some of them is an alternative to playing in important league like La Liga and playing nice stadiums.
One of the backup brigade
like
is
Camp Nou,
going to have a chance centre stage.
Atletico Madrid. So that is the best way. When young players you can play regularly every week in these stages is the best way to improve.
Finally, this weekend, a chance to play in front of your fans, and they'll be so excited to see them coming home.
He's put in the corner.
Yeah, we are
Only partially cleared, so
always
still some problems for them.
way, but
that's good support as they build this attack. Aldo.
I had to get up very early this morning to see on YouTube.
The Neymar. Suarez.
The documentary?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I saw the premiere, no.
The guy that played you is very good.
Yeah, good.
It's on the move all the time. It's good progress for this attack. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's given the free kick. He's in a really threatening position too.
For up to 3 months. Could be 11 Premier League games, could be, including Liverpool and Spurs. Since he made his debut, he's had more assists than anybody in the top 5 European leagues, 43 and 21 goals as well. So anybody can cope with the absence of De Bruyne. It's City, isn't it?
It is, but if Pep Guardiola, if there was 2 players he couldn't afford to miss, it would be him and Fernandinho, in my opinion. And even though you say, oh, well, Silva will step up, or Sterling will step up, or Mahrez becomes a good signing now, Mahrez, they'll play a lot more minutes. This lad has such influence at the start of the season. I think this opens the door for Liverpool. I really do. Look at these things that he's done. No one else could do them. No one else could even see them play. One-man team then. I wouldn't say one-man team, but when people are sitting 10 behind the ball like that, these were all some of these were last-minute goals. Some of these were opening teams up. I mean, look at that. I mean, the goal at Chelsea, 3 points. I mean, these are all, if you look at the goal shift, these are all starting it off. These were all starting it off at 1-0, and then they'd all relax, and then teams had to chase the game, and then they'd start winning 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. He would be a massive miss. For all the world-class players they've got, this lad makes things happen in important times of the season, especially at the start of the season he did.
You can get a stage though with Man City that he can pick a pass, he's quick to look forward, and he can cut you open. We've seen that vision that he's got. He also has an authority within the team that they can rely on him, and that also creates more space for David Silva when he plays, Bernardo Silva, who's started to look more promising, and others. And when you take him away, they could pinpoint more tighter man marking philosophies, because they had so many more choices and options before when he was fit. So that might be a little problem for them to solve, but as you say, if anybody can solve it, it's Pep.
Making the sign in the Mahrez, and as you said, how important, how shrewd that has now been, because at this level, he does get you a number of goals. I'm not saying he's the ideal replacement for De Bruyne, because he's been sensational. But it all happens, and they say to improve the squad. We spoke about Spurs. But this guy will be in this. Yes, City they can do without him, but he is that something special who sprays that stardust around. Some of those passes there, I remember that one from the right-hand side, cuts about 6 people out. It was the pass of the season, and that's what this fella's capable of. So he will be a big miss.
The other's got to take advantage of it. When he comes back in 11 games or 12 games, how long it is, if teams are not clear, they're getting a £150 million player back. It's like a new signing. He's going to be more fresher than any other player come the end of the season because of having the rest of now. So the teams have to make hay while the sun shines and make sure they get points on the board, because if they ain't in front of Liverpool by the time...
Well, for a free kick, that's the best of Saito, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he shanked it, you know. That was a horrible connection.
What was he doing? Going to that premiere of that film? I've never seen anything like that in my life. The fella's done his knee in the afternoon, and he's on crutches, and he's got a brace on his leg, and he's hovering to him.
Could be a chance here. They've got the ball into a good area.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because the early stages of his rehab starts then, and for him to be up in the right angle.
Minutes to play here of added time.
Yeah, well, it was a raw siege, but it was a bit tight. The seats were a bit tight. He had to bend his leg a little bit.
Good forward play from them.
Look, they did okay for an hour without him against Arsenal. I think it's very good to come out running this season. It was probably Raheem Sterling, wasn't it? You know, the criticism.
Now, can he take them on?
Of the World Cup, and certainly no World Cup hangover, was there?
No, absolutely not. No, I was really pleased for him because he did take a lot of criticism.
He's getting some stick off those supporters.
I think his confidence could have been hit, but it's been, he seems to be that completely different boy when he puts on
the final whistle from the referee.
Certainly in front of goal.
Sergio Aguero has been brilliant in this game.
For England in the World Cup.
He goes across and grabs the match ball from the net. Hat-trick, and that's to be treasured by any player.
Amazing how he can be so confident.
When you go out for a match, you want 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performances from everybody. They've had that today.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen often, so there's not a lot the manager can say in that dressing room.
Pep right Merce when he says the dangerous time for teams like ours, with a lot of players coming back from the World Cup, play a team like Huddersfield.
No. Couldn't pick a better team, really. You know Huddersfield are going to sit behind, 10 behind the ball, and it'll be how long it takes Man City to break them down. You'd rather be playing Huddersfield than going to Old Trafford or... Yeah, I don't agree with that. I agree with injury-wise. I think with these players that have gone a long way in the World Cup, I think in a couple of months' time, I think then you've got to start worrying about picking up groin injuries or hamstrings or calves, because I think they'll have to be looked after so importantly, because it will tell, timings will tell, and they play at a very high tempo, Jeff. I mean, real high. And last season,
they all just want to stay in bed during the course of the week.
Yeah, if they do that, they could do it.
The pictures of your name mark.
When Huddersfield the only team to keep clean sheet.
Yeah, fantastic last season. Yeah. Look, we'll talk Petr Cech later on, Charlie. But did all the discussion about Petr Cech and you know how poor he was with the ball at his feet, did that mask the fact that Ederson was just as bad?
Well, he gets away with it, Jeff, because Arsenal are not a pressing team. They don't know how to press. I mean, this is a half-hearted. So it's so easy and so lazy from him. That's what it was. It was just laziness because it was so comfortable. But he got away with it. He'll need to sharpen up. I mean, the word after the game was it wasn't happy with Mendy. Well, what about the goalkeeper? Because he was worse. And the only hope that I did have as an Arsenal fan was this goalkeeper was prepared to give Arsenal some sort of a chance to get back in the football match. But he did get away with one last weekend.
At some stage it wasn't up to him also, but a lot of the players at times to come on to Arsenal, but found it so easy that they got very sloppy. And it allowed Arsenal to come on and have a little bit of belief. And I thought that was a little